Is Colombia safe? Can you go out at night? Can I go out boozed? Am I going to get robbed? Am I going to get attacked? Welcome to another Gaz Right video, and it is our final day in Colombia, currently sat up in the hills in Minca, and I thought it's a perfect opportunity to break down our trip, because these are all the questions that we had before we came here, and I can hand on heart say it's not been anywhere near what you read online, what you see online. Worry about safety, getting robbed. We've done a little bit of everything. I just want to talk about it because I think, do you know what I mean, a lot of people are put off by that preconception of it being a super dangerous place, a place where you've got to be super careful with your belongings. Of course, like anywhere in the world, you do need to, but for me, it's been absolutely fine everywhere we've been. So we spent 3 weeks traveling this beautiful, diverse, flair little country, and in terms of the place we went to Bogota, we went to Medellin, Salento, Santa Marta, and then we're finishing off up in the old rainforest in Minca as we speak. It is nice and toasty up here, nice 35 degrees, which has been the recurring theme of the entire trip. But I think what people read online is that it's dangerous to go out at night, and I think whilst, like I say, anywhere in the world, you do have to have your wits about you. If you're going out having a wad of cash, or you've just got your phone in your actual pocket and stuff, I'm sure if you're in central London, it would be an issue, probably more of an issue than here, to be honest. We went to a football match. We were in Medellin, we were so cautious because we were like, oh my God, we can't take our actual phones. We took a spare one we got. We didn't take any bank cards. We only took cash with us. Went there, boozed up all night. I went in with all the ultras the whole time, and we were on a trip with 70 other people, all tourists and stuff. I just went with all the ultras on my own, not one problem at all. And I think sometimes it is that preconception and thought, and just kind of, oh, you see it online, it's dangerous, and you kind of overthink things. I would obviously, this is my experience, it might be different for other people, but yeah, we were there super late, and then we walked back from the football to where we're staying because it's easier than going back to where the start of the trip was. And like I say, it was probably about half an hour walk back. Went and got a Mackey's at 1 a.m. Absolutely fine, no issues at all. And I think one of the other things as well, I think this is a big selling point for South America in general, is that I'd say 90-95% of people don't speak any English. So if you don't speak Spanish, it's an issue because, you know, it's hard to order things, stuff like that. But if you say no español, it's like people can't talk to you anyway. So the very finite amount of time somebody will talk to you. If you can't speak Spanish, it's probably going to block that conversation off. But yeah, I would probably say it is useful to speak a little bit of Spanish. We've got a tiny poco amount in the old locker. But I think it's anyway, people just getting on with their day. I think sometimes you think, oh God, can I go out? Can I go here? Whatever. No one talks to you because they're having fun on their own, all people from Colombia or whatever country people are from. Do you know what I mean? They're not bothered about tourists all the time. I think it is just something we build up in our heads. In terms of Bogota, we went up to Montserrat, up the mountain. I think that's one of the places where I just don't go there at night. Do you know what I mean? Because you're up a mountain in the middle of nowhere. But Bogota was absolutely fine. In Medellin, as I mentioned, we went to the football. We also went to Comuna 13, which you see online, and it's oh, it was Pablo Escobar's one of his old hoods, and the danger and this and all these things. That was the biggest tourist place maybe I've ever been to, in a good way, by the way. It's insane, the bright lights, the graffiti. It's super flair, great views, but they've actually built escalators up this isn't the technical term for it, kind of the Brazilian favela type buildings that you kind of think and that you see online. But they've built escalators to cater for tourists who can't walk up the steep slopes. So that's probably the place in Medellin which I'd say is the absolute safest place. Which when you think, you're oh my God, I'm going to where it all used to go down, or it was run by cartels and stuff like this. Absolutely not. So don't worry on that front. And then the only place in Medellin, and I did post this on a separate vlog, so I've done a separate day vlog for everywhere we've been. It's a place called Botero Park, which apparently 20% of all Medellin's homicides happen on this park, and stuff like that. But that's the only place. We didn't have a problem there. I went out, I had my camera, we were the only tourists there. And again, no one spoke to us. But it's a place, I can say this because I'm from the North of England, from the mighty Bolton. It was pretty rough, it's a little bit dicey. So if you are nervous nervous in those situations. I think it's anything like, if you approach a situation with confidence, you know what I mean, you're going to be less of a target than if you're like in a corner, like holding your bag, like, oh my God, I'm so nervous in here. Do you know what I mean? If you have a bit about you and you, do you know what I mean, just look confident, you're going to be less of a target. But that's the only place in Medellin. And when I say it's a little bit dicey, like, again, I talked about this on the Medellin vlog, and I want to make sure it's like the politically correct way of saying it, whatever, I'm not trying to offend anyone, but like, Medellin's a story of two halves. There's extreme wealth and extreme poverty. And around Botero Park, I think you have that extreme poverty side. But then on the flip side, you can stay in like amazing, like nice neighborhoods, like in the center of Medellin, 10 minutes away from there. And you could be in like Central Europe, you could be somewhere in the Middle East, like beautiful scenery, beautiful hotels and Airbnbs and stuff like that. But yeah, Medellin was quality, as I say, went out at night. Really good. Salento, you're gonna have no problems at all. It's a tiny little town up in the old mountains, like a little coffee town. They have one square where you all go out. We went to like the loosest bar, which is like all the locals, people like passed out asleep in there and stuff like that, dancing with them, having shots, having a good time. Absolutely fine. I would say that would probably be the safest place because it's so small. Everyone knows everyone. It's all on one square. So yeah, that would be the safest, but we had no problems anywhere we went. And then Santa Marta as well. Again, no problems at all. We actually went out super late, to like 2:30 in the morning, me and Em, on this like rooftop bar with like tunes flying, well, rooftop club to be honest, which again was absolutely insane, such good fun, but no one really cares. Genuinely, I would say, and I don't mean this in like a rude, and I mean it in a good way, like people just getting on with their days. They don't care about some tourists on a night out. I'm sure there are lots of stories out there where people have been in danger or had things stolen. That happens anywhere in the world, but I think as a general rule, we've been absolutely fine here. And then when you come up to Minca, again, Minca's like a rainforest. It's like the Ubud of Colombia, so I wouldn't feel any danger here. But I guess you wouldn't really go out too much at night here. You can go on, there's like 2 streets in the centre of Minca where you can go out for drinks at night, but it's not a place where you're going to be going out late, getting on transport late and stuff like that. So yeah, absolutely fine. As a general rule, everywhere we've been, if you do want to knock one place off the list, Botero Park, and it goes without saying, like, if you go out for 3 weeks till 3 a.m. every night, you're out super late, do you know what I mean? You're increasing the chances of putting yourself in a situation where you are too drunk or you have your phone out when you shouldn't and stuff like that. So you just mitigate it. We just go out early, be back for like 5-6 o'clock when the sun's going down, and then have a big night in each city, because do you know what I mean? You can't run through life being scared of every single thing or every eventuality of something that may or may not happen. So yeah, we did one night out in each place, and the other nights we just got back early, cooked some dinner at the Airbnb. But I think it just shows you, do you know what I mean? Don't read or don't believe everything. Maybe don't believe me. Don't believe everything you read and see online, because I think a lot of people I speak to, especially Albertans, like, oh my God, everywhere in South America, but don't go to Colombia. It's so dangerous. It's so this, it's so that. When, to be honest, this has probably been one of the safest places we've been in South America so far. We've not had any problems, to be fair, in anywhere in South America, and it's slowly but surely taking over Asia for me, mainly probably for the food, but like the salt flats, Machu Picchu, all stuff like that have been absolutely unreal. If you have any questions or things you want to know, like, oh, we're thinking of doing this, we're thinking of doing that, did you go here, bang it in the comments. I've also done a day vlog every single day we've been in Colombia, so I've been busy on the old sticks and the old editing, but yeah, I would go back. For me, Medellin was my absolute favourite, like the football, Comuna 13, the buzz about the city, and that's a recurring theme across the whole of Colombia. Like, it's a place that just feels alive. There's good music on, people enjoy a little bit of salsa. Imagine me salsaing in Salento, limbs flying left, right and centre, things you absolutely hate to see, but yeah, it's got a real energy about the place, and because of the climate and where it is, it's super green, it's super vibrant, beautiful views. You get a mixture of everything. For me, the diversity in terms of like the hills, the hiking, the nature, and then you have like the cities. We played a bit of Tejo. Go back and watch my Bogota travel vlog if you've not seen the national sport of Colombia. It is where they throw like these metal discs at like it's like an archery board, but it's filled with gunpowder and it just explodes. So yeah, loose place. We've been on the beers everywhere. We've had an unbelievable time. Not going to give it a rating because I do think it's absolutely top draw, but every time I commit to a figure, a few weeks later, I'm like, oh wait, it's this, it's that, or people just get a little bit agitated in the old comments. But for me, It's an absolute banger. Definitely get it on the list. Medellin as an absolute must. Go to a football match, Comuna 13, and check it all out. Any questions in the old comments whilst you're down there, hit the old subscribe button. Still en route to 3K subs. I'll see you win the next one, baby. We're en route to Panama, then we're going up to Mexico, surprise guest meetings in Mexico, back to Guatemala, Costa Rica, Brazil for Christmas. The content is going to be absolutely flying your way, so hit that subscribe button. See you tomorrow. Remember, the chef is always cooking. Let's get it.